fear of not being as good as other singers, like other artists, you name it. Like, just anything, any sort of shape of fear that causes stagnation.
It's the Get Up and Shine Show, where your host Lillian Taylor brings you intimate and inspiring interviews from people who faced off with serious life struggles and prevailed. As our guests revisit with the moments, realizations, and tools that helped them break through, you might just walk away more empowered in your own life. It's that time. Get up and shine.
Hello, this is Lillian Taylor bringing you the Get Up and Shine Show. The next interview segments were recorded with guest host, executive producer Milana Walter. From time to time, we're going to slip in a bit of music from the last album from our guest. Okay, so we are here today with George Tandy Jr., who's one of my favorite people in the world. He's just like the nicest guy I've ever met.
Oh, thanks.
And produces this and creates and produces this really tremendous music. Got his second album coming out. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually your third album, right? Weren't you with a group before?
Well, for me as an artist, it's the second.
The second solo single one. Okay. Mm-hmm. And can you just tell us a little bit about you that does not have anything to do with music?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I was born in Virginia. I have there's a lot of military background in my family. My grandpa's in the Army. My mom worked on the naval base as a librarian. What else? I practice Buddhism. Come from there's a lot of siblings. There's about 1,000 of us. There's 5. There's a lot of siblings. I don't know.
So when did you move to South Florida?
I like peanut butter.
Oh.
Is that something? That's not music.
That's not music. Any particular brand?
I'm so bad with that. I had to wean myself off of the sweeter peanut butter. So the natural.
The natural.
Yeah, the natural.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So how old were you when you moved to South Florida?
So I visited South Florida on and off again through high school, and I moved here, I think I was 18 or 19.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Shortly after graduating high school.
All right. And when did you first decide that you wanted to be a musician? You knew that was your calling.
It's a daily decision.
Right?
But there was a moment where... Okay, so when I moved to Florida, I was introduced to the entertainment industry officially. Because in Virginia, where I grew up, it was military or,
academic, sort of?
Yeah, academic, and then also touristy, sort of area. So my mom suggested that I move here and learn the industry through my dad, who's a jazz keyboardist. And I didn't hop right into music, I think, out of fear,
Were you musically trained before that?
I was in band and stuff.
What were you playing?
I played clarinet and French horn.
Oh, cool.
A couple of things, like whatever made noise. Anything that made sound, I tried to make music. So I jumped into the dance world first. And then after doing that for a while, I recognized that I was dancing around my desire to do music, both literally and figuratively, right? So I remember missing a flight to a gig, a dance gig, and I think somewhere I missed it on purpose, and I went from the airport to an open mic, and I just hopped on stage and I was just like, I'm going to sing whatever I can think of, a cappella, just to get over the first hump. Just to jump.
What was the hump?
Fear.
Fear? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just fear.
Fear of what?
Rejection or too harsh a criticism, or fear of not being like as good as other singers, like other artists, you name it. Anything, any sort of shape of fear that causes stagnation.
Okay.
That one.
So you felt really stagnated.
Yeah.
And how long
Paralyzed.
was it? You're paralyzed.
Yeah.
And so, 2 questions. How long was it that you stayed in this state of stagnation? And then what was the impetus? Was it just that you missed the flight and you had the realization, or was there were you actively trying to find the courage during that time, or what happened?
Well, I felt underexpressed. Just dancing to everyone else's songs, kind of like I have something to say or I have something to share.
Right.
I don't know quite what it is, but I know that I'm in my way, or I'm in its way.
Okay.
So the first thing is just step out of the way, and just give myself a chance to open my mouth and just sing something, and allow that first step to be taken, and then from there just be honest with myself about whether I like what I'm producing or my skill set and all that stuff. Just move forward from that moment. Take the first step.
Because we are our worst critics sometimes, and we get in our own way.
Yeah, for sure.
And it just sounds like when he made that decision, that unconscious decision to miss that flight, I mean, look at what your move was. Mm-hmm. It was like, the universe like taking you through. It's like you were on automatic pilot. Mm-hmm. I mean, who misses a flight and then goes and goes to an open mic? I mean, you just like bam, 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 and then put yourself out there.
Well, my options at the time, I think I knew that I was either going to retreat into some sort of guilt-ridden depression or something like that from sabotaging an opportunity by missing the flight, or I was going to respond by doing something that created value for myself. So it meant facing one of the biggest fears right then. And if I hesitated, I knew that I was going to spiral, and I didn't want to spiral. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
that was powerful.
Nice. Yeah. So, how old were you when you decided to make that step?
Early 20s.
Okay.
So you had some
Mid-20s.
life experience. You had some life experience under your belt.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I had been producing music for my siblings. This is what you were alluding to earlier, like trying to figure out whether it was my second or third album. The first album was making music. I was invited to make music with my siblings and stuff. And during that process, I had written a couple songs for myself, but I hadn't built up the courage to share them or record them or anything.
Okay.
So actually, the song that I ended up singing was one of those.
Which one is that?
I don't know. I don't even remember it. I don't even remember now. I don't think I ever recorded it.
Really?
Yeah, I was just like, I got to do this.
So how was the feedback?
It was fair.
Okay.
It was fair. And I knew I was in an environment where I wasn't going to, it wasn't like Showtime at the Apollo where you're going to get booed. This environment was a spoken word open mic environment that I had been, frequenting. I was there a lot. Mm-hmm. And I recognized that people were very supportive of people trying to do things for the first time. It was a very healthy, artistic environment. So I knew there was a chance that I would get constructive feedback. Mm-hmm. And I did.
Did you take that into what you did next?
Oh, yeah. That was just knowing that there was a safe environment to try. Mm-hmm. Of course, that was the first place I went back when I really wanted to do my thing.
Okay.
And that's where I continued to go to build my sort of understanding of the stage, with regard, and understanding of myself as a singer.
Mm-hmm. And I would think the audience as well. How people respond to, yeah.
I mean, they actually only knew me as a dancer as well, and somebody who would always be there supporting other artists. Mm-hmm. So when I got it, I remember the host freaking out. I was like, "What you mean you're gonna sing?" And she would. I think she actually said, because like when you see someone in one light, mm-hmm. sometimes we don't expect. And I don't think it's malicious, but sometimes we limit people to what we know of them.
Right.
So she was like, "Oh man, I really hope. I hope there's something there. Like I know he signed up, but I hope that there's something there." And
right.
She was very encouraging.
Good. So how did you restructure your life after those moments?
I started to prioritize songwriting, and I started to prioritize my seeking out of opportunities to perform and to step in front of different audiences and stuff like that over, some dance rehearsals and some other thing. I just it started to kind of take over a little bit. Gradually, I ended up doing music only. Mm-hmm. Because the dance world started to get a little too ego-driven. It was very competitive, sort of like a fashion show or and I was contributing in that way, and I didn't know how to change. But the music was totally different. It was such a free-flowing, sort of accepting atmosphere, the music and the poetry. I was like, let me lean this way, and I leaned all the way.
Yeah.
I'm combining all the worlds.
So you're choreographing now?
I'm doing a lot more freestyling and dancing just freely, without too much overthinking and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah.
What's your dance training?
Hip hop and freestyle choreography.
Okay.
Stuff.
And coming out of a very structured background like the military that you grew up under, do you have a set of structure that you use like day to day in order for you to accomplish some of the things you want to, or is it like freestyle? Or do you like get up in the morning and say, hey, I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 today? Or?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have multiple calendars, based on, I have my personal calendar and then a calendar on the fridge and then a calendar online, and I'm constantly checking those things. But as far as a daily regimen, I do get up early. I make sure that I get up early. I tell people I have to beat negativity to the day. I also make it a point to make sure that whatever's on the list of things to do in the morning, that it involves supporting someone else first.
What time do you get up?
6.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yeah.
And I chant and I study and then I'm in school as well full time, so I do school. And
what are you studying?
Psychology.
How about that? What drove you there?
I'm just fascinated with the way we think and the way we behave, and I think that I was thrown into a position in my family to be a sort of super aware of mental processes and emotional processing as a young kid.
Okay.
So I'm like, I have a knack.
So you feel very comfortable in that space.
Yeah, I do. So it's a matter of learning the terminology and understanding the theory. But I have my intention is to create a private practice where I provide some sort of counseling or therapy or some sort of dialogue platform specifically for artists, young artists and their families, because there's an experience there that's really unique,
Yeah, that's right. It is. Are you listening to your heart? Do you possess a gift that you're withholding from the world? Could the balance be better if you bring it forth? Stand toe-to-toe with your fear, then just take that step. You may stumble at first, may even fall. Recognize that that's victory as you're on the road. And that's the way to build capacity to do what you need to do. So get up and shine, my friends. Ever thought that sharing your story might help someone else? Meet Milana Walter. Milana, tell our audience about your story your way.
Many, many times, hearing someone else's story gave me that jolt of hope needed at the time. Can your story help someone? At Your Story Your Way, we help you tell it as a short story, book, or script. No one knows your story better than you. So what are you waiting for? Visit yourstoryyourway.com.
Next week, we continue this conversation with George Tandy Jr. Meanwhile, check out his albums. Then Foundation is his first release, top performer on the charts. The lyrics deliver, and the music quality is awe-inspiring. And it's so sexy. A regular in my playlist. You've been hearing Already Love from his latest album, Because Life, perfect for Valentine's Day. Download it and be back here next week for more pearls from a wise one, George Tandy Jr., on how to get up and shine.
We'll return next Tuesday with more great content. Catch a preview at www.getupandshine.com. thegetupandshineshow.com and join the mailing list for access to great tools to help you. And remember, it's your time to get up and shine.